Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle of frustration, constantly reacting to the whims of the world, other people, and even your own emotions? That feeling that no matter how hard you try, inner peace always seems a step ahead? Do you yearn for an unwavering calm, for a mind that doesn't waver in the face of chaos? What if the key to that fortress lay not in changing the world, but in transforming yourself? It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This maxim by Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, encapsulates the essence of what we will uncover today. For a long time, like many of us, I sought external solutions for internal problems. I believed that if my job were perfect, my relationships frictionless, or my finances abundant, happiness would come naturally. But the truth is that immaturity leads us to seek changes in our environment, while true wisdom lies in transforming the inner landscape. The problem is universal. We are conditioned to react, to blame external factors, to feel like victims. We want to control the uncontrollable, and this drains us. But there is a path, an ancient philosophy that teaches us to navigate life with serenity and purpose regardless of external storms. This is not a shortcut to happiness, but a map to unwavering resilience and emotional self-sufficiency. In this video, we will explore 5 Stoic principles that, if applied, can revolutionize your way of thinking, feeling, and acting. Prepare for a journey of self-discovery that will empower you to build a life of true personal mastery. If this resonates with you, comment Stoicism and let's begin. Do you truly know what is under your control, or do you waste precious energy trying to move mountains that will never budge? Many of us live in a state of constant anxiety, as if every thread of our destiny were at the mercy of external forces. You find yourself biting your nails over others' opinions, the volatility of the stock market, or the unexpected rain that ruined your plans. There's a silent belief that if you could just manipulate every external variable, peace would be yours. This is the fatal error. You've been investing your most valuable emotional energy in things that float like clouds in the sky. The result? You feel exhausted, powerless, and frustrated when reality refuses to dance to your tune. With each frustrated attempt to mold the world, a brick of your own inner fortress crumbles. It was Epictetus, a former slave who ascended to philosophical wisdom, who gifted us the essential compass of mental freedom. In his Enchiridion, he begins with the most liberating truth. Some things are under our control, and others are not. Imagine a man in chains, but with a free mind. He cannot change his shackles, but he can choose how he perceives his situation, how he responds to his pain, how he cultivates his dignity. This is the Stoic essence. We cannot control the weather, the economy, others' opinions, or even the very lives of those we love. But we can and must control our judgments, our impulses, our desires, and our aversions. Your freedom begins at the exact point where you recognize this boundary. Here's how to do this today, to draw your own circle of power. Start practicing the dichotomy of control exercise. When facing a problem or a stressful situation, visualize a circle. Inside it, place everything directly under your control: your actions, your words, your thoughts, your effort, your attitude. Outside the circle, place everything that is not: the weather, your boss's mood, the outcome of a negotiation. Only your effort in the negotiation is within. The past, the uncertain future. When anxiety arises, ask yourself, is this inside or outside my circle? If it's outside, take a deep breath and say, I accept it. My energy will not be drained by this. If it's inside, list 3 concrete actions you can take now to positively influence it. For example, if a project at work is delayed, you don't control the bureaucracy, but you control your communication with the team, your contingency planning, and your focus on priority tasks. When you master this principle, anxiety will drastically diminish, like a river finding its bed. You will stop feeling like a leaf in the wind, at the mercy of every external gust, and begin to operate from a place of unwavering power and purpose. The energy previously wasted on useless worries will be channeled into effective actions, building a solid foundation of self-sufficiency and resilience capable of facing any challenge with a serenity that few understand. But here's what almost no one understands about this. Accepting the uncontrollable is not passivity. This leads us to something even more powerful. Do you fight against what already is, or accept reality as it presents itself? Peace begins where resistance ends, but it's not a peace of surrender, but one of strategy. It's natural to resist painful situations, unexpected losses, or blatant injustices. You find yourself lamenting, "Why me?" dwelling on alternative scenarios in the past, or fantasizing about how things should be. This stubborn denial or fierce resistance to present reality is one of the greatest sources of human suffering, creating a personal hell where the mind refuses to move forward. You think that by not accepting, you are somehow maintaining control or protesting against fate. But in reality, you are only prolonging your own agony, exhausting your emotional reserves, and preventing the search for effective solutions that can only arise from the recognition of what is. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who governed the Roman Empire in times of plague and war, wrote in his Meditations, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Stoic acceptance is not passive resignation, a white flag raised in defeat. On the contrary, it is an active and courageous acknowledgement of reality, a firm yes to the irrefutable fact that something has happened. It is understanding that once the die has been cast, fighting against the fact itself is as useless as trying to stop the tide. Wisdom lies in accepting what is with the strength of an unconditional love for your fate, the famous amor fati, and then deciding what to do with this new landscape. Here's how to do this today, to transform resistance into resilience. When faced with an unpleasant situation, a setback, a loss, begin with the silent phrase, "This is what it is, and I accept it." Allow yourself to feel the initial emotions, anger, sadness, frustration, but don't cling to them. Don't let them dictate your narrative. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" again, change the question to, "Now that this has happened, what is the next virtuous step I can take? What can this situation teach me?" Actively practice amor fati. If an important project fails, don't just accept the failure, but embrace it as a valuable lesson, a master in disguise. If a significant relationship ends, accept the reality of the separation and focus on how you can grow, learn, and strengthen yourself through this experience, instead of clinging to a ghost of what no longer exists. When you master this principle, resistance will transform into unwavering resilience, like a tree that bends but does not break under the storm. You will find immense freedom by stopping the fight against the flow of life, releasing energy that was previously consumed in lost battles. Radical acceptance will allow you to adapt more easily, find opportunities even in the darkest adversities, and ultimately experience a deep peace that does not depend on external circumstances, but on your internal posture towards them. Now, the next principle will challenge everything you think you know about strength, revealing that true fortitude is much closer than you imagine. Do you flee from discomfort or embrace it as a master? The plain truth is that the deepest growth resides in what we most avoid. We live in a society that teaches us to seek pleasure and avoid pain at all costs, as if comfort were the sole indicator of a successful life. You've made the mistake of overly shielding yourself, creating a protective bubble against challenges, healthy confrontations, or any situation that might cause the slightest inconvenience. This creates a comfort bubble, which, while it may seem safe and cozy, actually weakens you. It makes you more vulnerable to every small adversity and dangerously dependent on external validation or ideal conditions to feel secure and capable. You become an atrophied muscle, unable to bear the weight of reality. Seneca, the shrewd philosopher and advisor to emperors, in his letters to Lucilius, frequently advised the practice of voluntary discomfort exercises. He argued that by intentionally exposing ourselves to small privations or challenges, such as taking cold showers, fasting occasionally, or walking long distances instead of using a comfortable carriage, we train our minds to tolerate discomfort. More than that, we realize how little we need to be truly happy, functional, and resilient. This practice is not masochism, but a mental forge that builds an inner fortress, an unbreakable armor against the inevitable blows of fate. Here's how to do this today, to forge your own armor. Start incorporating small but intentional acts of voluntary discomfort into your routine. It could be taking a 30-second cold shower in the morning, transforming the initial shock into a meditation on impermanence. It could be skipping a meal occasionally, always responsibly, and if your health allows, to feel the slight pang of hunger and realize you are not a slave to your immediate desires. Challenge yourself to postpone instant gratification, like checking your phone with every notification or impulsively eating a sweet. On a deeper level, challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone in difficult conversations, expressing your opinion respectfully but firmly, or taking on a new responsibility at work that forces you to learn and grow. During these moments, observe yourself, the mind's resistance, the temptation to give up. Remember that you are training your mind to be more robust, less reactive, and more self-sufficient. When you master this principle, you will cease to be a hostage to pleasure and comfort, which are fickle and demanding masters. Your ability to endure adversities, both small and great, will increase exponentially, and you will discover an inexhaustible source of inner strength that was dormant. The need for external validation will drastically diminish, as your security will come from your own ability to endure and overcome. You will feel more confident, more resolute, and better prepared to face any challenge life presents you, not with fear, but with the unwavering certainty of your own resilience. This leads us to something even more powerful, the importance of silencing the external noise to hear the voice of your own wisdom. How many times do you react impulsively before truly understanding the situation? Silence, in this frenetic world, is not the absence of sound. It is the cradle of wisdom. We live in a world of constant and overwhelming stimuli, notifications buzzing in our pockets, an endless stream of alarming news, social media feeds screaming for attention, and a cacophony of others' opinions that infiltrate our minds. You think you need to be always connected, always responding, always engaged, at the risk of being left behind. This incessant bombardment of information, combined with a chronic lack of pauses for genuine reflection, leads to hasty judgments, exaggerated emotional reactions, and a dangerous disconnection from your own inner compass. You've made the mistake of allowing the external noise to dictate your mental state, your priorities, and ultimately, your most important decisions, transforming you into an echo of the world instead of an authentic voice. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who governed the largest empire of his time, despite all the demands and pressures, found in his meditations a refuge for reflection, tirelessly examining his own thoughts and judgments. The Stoics emphasized the discipline of perception, which is the trained ability to observe reality without immediately adding value judgments, emotional interpretations, or prejudices. This requires a deep inner silence and a deliberate space for reflection. It is in this garden of calm, in this space between stimulus and response, that we can discern truth from appearances, separate fact from fiction, and choose our response rationally, virtuously, and aligned with our essence. Here's how to do this today, to cultivate your own garden of silence. Implement moments of stillness into your day. Start with 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and/or evening where you sit in absolute silence, without digital distractions, without music, without to-do lists. Use this time to observe your thoughts like clouds passing in the sky, without judgment. Ask yourself, is this thought useful? Is it true? Is it under my control? Does it serve me or imprison me? Before reacting impulsively to a provocation, bad news, or an irritating email, practice the Stoic pause. Take 3 deep breaths, feel the air entering and leaving, and create a small but powerful space between the stimulus and your response. This allows you to choose a response aligned with your values and your reason, instead of a visceral and impulsive reaction you might regret later. When you master this principle, you will develop remarkable mental clarity, like the crystal clear water of a calm lake. Your ability to make thoughtful decisions, to remain calm under pressure, and to see beyond appearances will increase significantly. You will cease to be a hostage to your emotions and others' opinions, becoming the true master of your own mind and your inner peace, guided by a keen perception and deep discernment that will empower you to navigate any storm with serenity. But what's the point of all this discipline if we don't have a clear purpose to guide our actions? The next principle is your unwavering compass. Does your life act on impulse or on principle? Does your life have a greater purpose than the pursuit of ephemeral pleasures, or are you just drifting aimlessly? Many of us seek happiness in external goals, like mirages in the desert: more money, a higher position, more social recognition, more material possessions. You think that fulfillment will come when you achieve that next big thing, when you finally get there. This leads to an endless cycle of dissatisfaction, a hedonic treadmill, where with each accomplished goal, a new desire emerges, emptier than the last. You've made the mistake of basing your life on instant gratification and external validation, feeling empty and disoriented even after great achievements, without a lasting sense of direction or meaning to anchor your soul. The Stoics believed that true happiness, eudaimonia, was not a state of fleeting euphoria, but a life of flourishing and well-being that resides in living in harmony with nature and reason, acting virtuously. For them, the cardinal virtues, wisdom, knowing what is good and bad; courage, facing fear and difficulty; justice, treating others with fairness; and temperance, self-control and moderation, were the unwavering guide to a life well lived. Seneca, one of the most eloquent among them, said, "Virtue is the only thing that cannot be taken from us." Living virtuously means acting with integrity in all circumstances, contributing to the common good, and using our reason for the benefit of ourselves and others, not for reward, but because it is the right thing to do. Here's how to do this today, to align your inner compass. Identify your core values. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be, not for others, but for myself? What kind of impact do I want to leave on the world, even if it's just in my small circle? Then, align your daily actions with these values. Before making a decision, big or small, ask, is this action wise? Is it courageous? Is it just? Does it demonstrate temperance? Look for opportunities for service, even small ones, in your community, at your workplace, or in your personal relationships. It could be listening attentively to a friend who needs to vent, offering proactive help to a colleague in distress, or dedicating time and energy to a cause you truly believe in. The focus is not the external result or recognition, but the pure intention and the virtue of the action itself. When you master this principle, your life will gain a deep and lasting meaning, like an anchor stabilizing the ship in a storm. You will stop chasing ephemeral happiness and find contentment in the very journey of living virtuously, knowing that you are acting in alignment with what is best within you. Anxiety about the future will diminish, as your actions will be guided by a solid purpose and an unwavering inner compass, building a legacy of integrity, character, and positive impact that transcends the fluctuations of the world. We have reached the end of our journey through the 5 Stoic principles, but this is just the beginning of your true transformation. To recap, you've learned to discern what is and what is not under your control, accepting the uncontrollable with wisdom. You've discovered the art of embracing reality with radical acceptance, transforming resistance into resilience. You've begun to cultivate your inner stronghold through voluntary discomfort, forging a mental armor. You've learned to master your perception with the power of silence and reflection, finding clarity amidst chaos. And finally, you've understood the importance of living with an unwavering purpose through virtuous action and service. You are no longer one who reacts impulsively to every breeze, who feels like a victim of circumstances, or who seeks external validation to fill a void. The person you are becoming is someone with an unwavering serenity, a mastery over yourself that emanates from within, and an ability to flourish in any environment, no matter how challenging. You are on the path to becoming a mature individual who understands that true change comes from within, that true strength resides in your internal response, in your choice, not in the external circumstances that surround you. Remember, challenges will come, storms will rise, but your ability to face them with wisdom, courage, and inner peace will be your greatest weapon, your greatest legacy. Start today with one small step, applying one of these principles that resonated most with you. If this video touched you and made sense, please like it. Share in the comments which of these 5 principles you will apply first in your life, and how it can be the catalyst for the change you so deeply seek. Share this video with someone you know needs to hear this message of empowerment and self-mastery. And to continue your journey of transformation and personal growth with Stoic wisdom, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next episodes. Your mind is a garden. Cultivate it with wisdom, and you will reap an unwavering fortress.